Hello. How you doing? Great. Thank you. Wow. Oh, calm down. Shut the fuck up. Thank you. What a lovely welcome. Just for that, I'm going to try my hardest tonight. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Rick, relax. We've already had our money's worth just seeing you. What? You're a legend. Shut up. Why is he... I'm not a god. Why is that? I'm just an ordinary guy, you know, going around talking to people. Sort of like Jesus. In a way, but better. Well, I've actually turned up, so... Thank you, and welcome to my new show, Humanity. I don't know why I called it that. I'm not a big fan. I prefer dogs, obviously. Dogs are better people than people, aren't they? They're amazing dogs. They're our best friends. They guard us, they guide us. There's medical detection dogs that can smell if you've got, like, AIDS. I'm not a doctor, but their noses are like 1,000 times more sensitive than ours, so they sort of go, "Poor, you're well HIV, fuck," you know. And you go, "You can smell AIDS on someone." Yeah. Then why didn't you smell it on the bloke I brought home last night then, you fucking idiot? They did the first 3 billion years by themselves, evolution and all that. And then we got involved and we did a bit of selective breeding, you know, getting them how we wanted them to do jobs for us, you know, a bit more of that, a bit stronger, faster, whatever. And they're great at the jobs they're bred to do, and they love the job they're bred to do because they're genetically hardwired to love that behaviour anyway. Although the Rhodesian Ridgeback was bred to hunt lions, and I can't help but think that was a little bit of a shock to it when it found out. So we've done all the breeding, all the different pedigrees, all thousands of miles around, a big passing out parade. There's a bloke in a square with a white coat and a clipboard, and he goes, "Right, dogs." And they all go, what? Who wants to know what jobs they've got? We all do. Right. Okay, Labradors. Yeah? Do you like carefully bringing back dead ducks? Yeah. That's your job. Amazing. That is amazing. That is my favourite job. That is my favourite job. Jack Russells. Yeah. Do you like shooting down rabbit holes after... Yeah. That's your job. Fucking hell. Best day ever. Best day ever. Miniature poodles. Yeah. Do you like being carried around by elderly homosexuals? Yeah. That's your job. That's your job. Ridgebacks. Yo. You're hunting lions. What? You're hunting lions. Fuck off. Yeah, you are. No, we're not. Lions? We get fucking mashed. Why can't the Rottweilers hunt lions? They're shaking babies. Good boy. Good boy. You shake that baby if you want. Good boy. Cheers. So yeah, this is my first new stand-up show for 7 years, if you don't count the Golden Globes. Which you shouldn't. The Golden Globes, very different. Oh, God, different vibe. 200 million people watching around the world. And it's live, you know, big thrill. But with that many people watching, there comes a bit of stick. Everyone's different. Everyone's a blogger. Everyone goes, "I was offended." Oh. Why? He said an horrible thing. We said loads of horrible things. Yeah, but that was a thing that I care about. And that's the thing about offence, isn't it? It's about feelings, and feelings are personal. I don't care about the so-called backlash, you know, comedian in hot water. Ooh, you know. But my girlfriend Jane, she does worry a bit, and she reads things. Oh, why are they? What have you said? Why? I go, don't worry about it. They're not coming to the house. Fuck them. So I wind her up. I pretend I'm going to say much worse things than I ever would. You know. Think of that. I have to make up worse jokes than I actually... just to scare my girlfriend. So when I'm doing the Golden Globes, we go out about a week before. It's in LA. We fly out, right? And I'm writing jokes as the ceremony approaches. And, you know, they release sort of more presenters. And I take my pick. I go, oh, yeah, I've got a good intro for them. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Mel Gibson. Yeah, I'll introduce him. Yes. And about 3 days before this last one, right, just to wind Jane up, I said, oh, I've got a good intro. She went, what? I said, Bill Cosby would make our next presenter sleep on the couch. Please welcome Helen Mirren. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. She went, you're not going to do it? I said, no, I'm not going to do that. Next day, I got her again. I said, is this too much then? I said, not even Bill Cosby carries enough tranquilizer to bring down this next magnificent beast. Please welcome Melissa McCarthy. I didn't do it. I'd never tell a joke like that. It's horrible. I was just doing it to annoy Jane. I'd never even think of that. So don't... Even on the day, on the way to the red carpet, we're in the limo, just to wind her up, I said, oh, I'm going to start off with a funny little one-liner, just an old-fashioned joke. She went, oh, what? I said, what did the deaf, dumb and blind orphan get for Christmas? And Jane went, I don't know. I said, cancer. I didn't do it. So you're getting offended at a joke that doesn't exist. So I'd never say that in public. So to anyone who mattered. Anyway, so don't... As it was, I didn't have to worry about offending anyone because it just happened, so... And the big controversy last time I did it was a Caitlyn Jenner joke, right? Oh, outrage on Twitter the next day. And by outrage, I mean a couple of people going, it was transphobic. It wasn't transphobic in the slightest. It was a joke about a trans person, but the joke had nothing to do with that aspect of her existence. And that's the other thing about offence. People get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target, and they're not necessarily the same. I'll tell you the joke. You make your own minds up. Right. So... It's live, so they go, and now your host for the 68th Annual Golden Globe Awards, please welcome Ricky Gervais. They go, and they're all clapping, all the actors are looking up, smiling at me nervously. It's brilliant, right? So I just go, relax, I'm going to be nice tonight. I've changed. Not as much as Bruce Jenner, obviously. And I go, now Caitlyn Jenner, of course, and what a year she's had, became a role model for trans people everywhere, bravely breaking down barriers and destroying stereotypes. She didn't do a lot for women drivers, right? So that's a clever joke, and I'll tell you why, right? It's layered. No, listen, right? The subject of that joke is stereotypes. I'm playing with the notion of stereotypes, right? So I start off saying, she's a real woman. Some would say a liberal, progressive attitude. Then I go, oh, if she's a real woman, I hit them with the old-fashioned reactionary stereotype. She must be a bad driver then, right? And the target of the joke is a celebrity killing someone in their car. Let's not forget that, shall we? A celebrity killing someone in their car, running home and popping on a dress. That's the target of the joke, just so we're clear, okay? She was interviewed about a week later at some press conference for a show she was launching, now cancelled. And the press were around and one of them said, what do you think of the Ricky Gervais joke? And she went, maybe I should host the Golden Globes, right? And they tweeted that, and they atted me in, because they want a celebrity feud, you know? It was clickbait, so I rose to the bait, obviously. I just sent back, let her host, just don't let her drive. Another website that was in the room, Entertainment Weekly, they tweeted a different headline, and they atted me in as well. And their headline was, Caitlyn finally breaks silence over Ricky Gervais. I just sent back, at last. She always breaks too late. Bring it on. Bring it on. But I'm a considered comedian. I like my jokes to be accurate and my targets to be fair. So I was engaging these people. I was saying, why is it transphobic? And they were saying, it's about a trans person. I said, well, that's ridiculous. That's like saying a joke about Bill Cosby is automatically racist. It depends on the joke. But I was talking to them, I'm willing to learn, and I found out my crime was that I dead named her. Now, I'd never heard that term, before a day after the Golden Globes, and that was saying her old name, and even acknowledging that she used to be a man. But she did. I saw him on the Olympic Games. It was decathlon, it was in everything. He was all over the place. Shot put and pole vault. He won a medal. He was famous. He was on telly all the time. But, a big, famous man with a huge, I don't know, but I mean, I guess he's a big, but I've learned my lesson. Now, I'd never dead name her now. Now I know it's wrong. I'd never dead name her now. But like years ago, when, she was a man, that was years ago, I'm saying, right? And she went to the doctor, right? And knocked on the door, and the doctor went, come in. This is years ago. I was saying, I'd never dead name her now, but this is like a flashback before anyone, do you know what so, like, come in, and he went, hello, Bruce Jenner, because that was his name then. The doctor, this was years ago, and the doctor went, oh, I'm Bruce Jenner, you big old... How you doing, boy, you fucker? How you doing? You big old lump. Oh, how you doing, boy? Come here, you fucker. How you doing, Brucey boy? You all right? Right? And Bruce Jenner, because that was his name, this is years ago, right? So Bruce Jenner went, yeah, not too bad, doctor, yeah. Not too bad, right? And I thought, what can I do for you, Bruce? You fucker. How you doing, boy? And Bruce Jenner went, because that was his name, Bruce Jenner went, look at that. And they went, oh, come on, Bruce Jenner, you know the rules. He uses his whole name every time for some reason, I don't know why. Come on, Bruce Jenner, you fucker, you know the rules. You can't bring your big old pole vaulting pole in here, mate, And Bruce Jenner went, no, that's not my pole vaulting pole, that's my enormous penis. And I thought, oh, right, yeah, seeing as it is your penis, you can bring it in here. But you should have left your shot puts outside. And Bruce Jenner went, that was his name for 58 years, I think. He went, no, they're not my shot puts, they're my enormous testicles. That's where I keep my testosterone and my spunk and shit, right? And the doctor went, oh, yeah, that makes perfect. I'm a medical man, and that you're a big bloke. Oh, you fucker. How you doing, boy? You're a big... You're big, and you would have a big old cock and balls. They're beautiful. They're a bit familiar. And I go, no, but you must be very proud of them, Bruce. Bruce Jenner went, oh, this is going to surprise you, doctor. I want to get rid of them. And the doctor went, what? Why? Oh, they get in the way. Get in the way of what? Fucking driving, for one thing. Right? I moved to Hampstead. Oh, my God, it's no crime. I saw a knife once in Hampstead. It was a palette knife. Just a bloke just painting, oil painting, in the middle of the street, broad daylight. No one was gobbing on it or calling him Bender. It was weird, right? So, I know my life has changed drastically, but it wasn't always like that. And the reason I'm telling you this, as a famous person, you sort of read about yourself, gossip and, Twitter and everything. And one thing kept cropping up, even when I was preparing for this tour, people were saying, oh, he's out of touch. He's so famous, he's rich, he's mega rich. I am. I could have this place burned down for a laugh. No, but they say things like, oh, he's an observational comedian. How can he say things that relate to ordinary scum? And I say, don't call them scum, right? But even the papers, they try and get around to it. I do interviews, and they'll always be able to say, oh, do you always fly first class? I go, no, often private. Right? And the number of times I've answered this question, right? They say, do you know how much a pint of milk is? It was meant to make you look out of touch, and I don't know, but that's irrelevant, right? Next time a journalist asks me that, I'm going to say, I don't know, mate, but here's £1,000. Run and get me one, will you? Is that enough? Is that enough? Yeah. Another question that I always get, particularly with the posh papers, the Sundays, they're doing a profile piece, and they're still trying to alienate you and make you look different, right? And they always say things like, no, you don't have children. I say, no. I say, why don't you have children? Which is a really odd question to ask someone, why don't you have children? As opposed to asking people, why do you have children, right? Let's ask the fat lady in the leggings why she's had 8, shall we? Oh, 9, that one just fell out. That one didn't even touch the sides or disturb a cigarette. That one just, boom. No, don't claim for that. But I am spoiled, and there's a difference. I'm not out of touch. I didn't have any money till I was 40. I've got the same family and friends, same values, but I am spoiled because opportunity and privilege spoils you. And it doesn't take much, right? I'll give you an example. Right, first time I started making it in America, the next time we flew, we were met at the plane by a bloke in a suit and a thing, and he just walked us past the queue like that and straight out the other side, right? And the first time it happens, you're sort of horrified. You're going, oh my God, everyone's looking at me, pretending to be late. Oh God, a baseball cap. Oh God. Next time we flew, I went, where's that bloke who walks us through? I'm not fucking queuing, right? It's quick, right? And whenever I fly to the States, I've got a place there, but I'm always working, right? So someone else is paying, right? So I go first class, BA. Oh, it doesn't get any better. Even if I was paying my own way, I'd still go first class, but Jane would probably be in coach. Right? It's 10 grand a pop. She's, yeah, that new Planet of the Apes movie's on. She'd love that. She'd be happy, right? But when someone else is paying, I say, Jane, get up here with me, right? Front 2 seats. Oh, they board us early. We're on the plane about 15 minutes before anyone else. It's, oh my God. They bring around these snacks, these like warmed, caramelized nuts in a bowl, right? Champagne. It's great. It's like a little day off for me. No phone or anything. It's like a little holiday flying to the States, right? I could do without the safety video. That's always a bit of a downer, right? And totally pointless. If you go into the side of a mountain at 500 miles an hour, the brace position does fuck all. Imagine if that worked, right? You're going down, right? The flames smash, you go, I'll try it, right? You do that, ball of flames, you wake up, everyone's dead, except you go, fucking hell, that's amazing. That is... And they always use that voice, don't they, on the safety. They always use that voice, that calming, hypnotic voice. Like, nothing bad will happen. They're saying horrendous things, but they're trying to make you think nothing bad will happen because I'm using this voice, so don't worry about it, right? They say things like, in the event of the plane landing on water, it smashes the fuck to bits, right? Well, they don't say that. They say, in the event of the plane landing on water, your life jacket is equipped with a whistle. A fucking whistle. So the plane hits the water, smashes it to bits. Everyone's dead except you by a miracle. You're bobbing around in the Atlantic Ocean. 4 degrees that water is, right? You've got about 15 minutes before hypothermia sets in, right? Or eaten by a shark, or you drown, and you're hoping they've dispatched air sea rescue, and you're going, oh my God, I'm bruised and broken. I'm going to die. I don't want to die. What happened there? I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. I mean, air sea rescue. Now, I don't know if you've ever been in a helicopter. Of course you haven't, right? But they're fucking loud, right? It's like having your head in a washing machine. You have to wear earplugs and then ear defenders. Your teeth rattle. It's like that. So you're over the Atlantic Ocean at night. You go. Never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. If you crash, you die, right? But apart from that, it's brilliant. Right, so I was flying I think the world's going to get harder and harder to understand as I get older and more bewildered. A new dogma arises in the name of progress. Now, dogma is never progressive, however new and trendy, but I think soon I'll be outnumbered. And, like, it was only this year that I ordered my first item off Amazon. All the way through the pandemic, Jane's like, bang, things are arriving, we need this, bang, it's here. Like, and I was going, oh, and she goes, it's easy. I go, I never liked real shopping either, hated real shopping, particularly clothes shopping. I hated clothes shopping when I was young and thin. I really hate it now I'm fat and old, right? Once, a shop assistant thought I had my inside leg and my waist measurement the wrong way round. I could see her thinking, do you have an orangutan, sir? No, it's for me, you cheeky. Yeah, I never like real shopping, but I don't trust the internet either. And Jamie's going, just put in your credit card. I don't want to have my credit card details. She went, everyone's got your credit card details, just put the number in. I went, what one? She went, the long one. She went, oh, fuck me, give it here. There, you're on. Order something. So I thought, oh, I don't want anything. Oh, tracksuit bottoms. You can't have too many. I wear mine till the bollocks fall out, right? So I put in men's tracksuit bottoms, black, zip pockets, about 38 different. Oh, fuck me, they look all right. Size chart. I go, well, they'll be a bit long, but they'll be a bit tight. I thought, $9.99. I thought, oh, fuck it, who cares, right? So I ordered them. They came the next day. I opened them up. They were shit. Now, I don't know what sweatshop they were made in or what little 8-year-old Chinese kid made them, but he should be fucking punished because they are. Oh. And I was looking at where to fucking complain to get him fired, right? And I found out that these kids only get $2 a day in these fucking places, right? But what happened to pride in your work? Do you know what I mean? And I can tell, some of you are thinking, oh yeah, but he didn't think Ricky Gervais would order them. Well no, but maybe you should be told there's a chance that Ricky Gervais might order them. His owner should sit him down, right? And say, if Ricky Gervais orders these and complains, I'm going to rape your mummy again. What, is that too much? Sorry. Leave it with me. Leave it with me. You'll realise this is great satire when I'm dead. I should do political stuff now I'm woke, but I don't like it when a comedian just spouts his own political views and it relies on the audience agreeing with him to get a round of applause. I think that loses something comedically. I want everyone to like my jokes, whatever your political persuasion. A joke shouldn't have a political wing, you know. I'm political in my private life, like everyone, you know. Like, I'm sometimes incensed by the inequalities in our society. We're in the 7th richest economy in the world, right? And there's homelessness. There's 250,000 homeless people in Britain. Now, I wish there were no homeless people, because they're fucking horrible. You know, oh yeah, right next to the fucking cash point, you cheeky cunt. It is a serious problem, and I hope none of you ever find yourself homeless, but if you do, my advice is heroin. Cheers you right up, apparently. I've got one of those mates. My mate said this to me in all seriousness. He said, but the thing about heroin, Rick, he said, some of the greatest albums of all time were created on heroin, weren't they? I went, yeah, but they were created by some of the greatest artists of all time, weren't they? You're a plasterer, right? If I were to give you heroin, you wouldn't come up with Dark Side of the Moon, would you? You'd fall asleep watching the telly and burn the fucking house down. And the big controversy last time I did it was a Caitlyn Jenner joke, right? Oh, outrage on Twitter the next day. And by outrage, I mean a couple of people going, it was transphobic. It wasn't transphobic in the slightest. It was a joke about a trans person, but the joke had nothing to do with that aspect of her existence. And that's the other thing about offence. People get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target, and they're not necessarily the same. I'll tell you the joke. You make your own minds up, right? So... It's live, so they go, and now your host for the 68th Annual Golden Globe Awards, please welcome Ricky Gervais. They go, and they're all clapping, all the actors are looking up, smiling at me nervously. It's brilliant, right? So I just go, relax, I'm going to be nice tonight. I've changed. Not as much as Bruce Jenner, obviously. And I go, now Caitlyn Jenner, of course, and what a year she's had. Became a role model for trans people everywhere, bravely breaking down barriers and destroying stereotypes. She didn't do a lot for women drivers. So, that's a clever joke, and I'll tell you why, right? It's layered. No, listen, right? The subject of that joke is stereotypes. I'm playing with the notion of stereotypes, right? So I start off saying, she's a real woman. Some would say a liberal, progressive attitude. Then I go, oh, if she's a real woman, I hit them with the old-fashioned reactionary stereotype. She must be a bad driver then, right? And the target of the joke is a celebrity killing someone in their car. Let's not forget that, shall we? A celebrity killing someone in their car, running home and popping on a dress. That's the target of the joke, just so we're clear, okay? She was interviewed about a week later at some press conference for a show she was launching, now cancelled. And the press were around and one of them said, what do you think of the Ricky Gervais joke? And she went, maybe I should host the Golden Globes, right? And they tweeted that, and they atted me in, because they want a celebrity feud, you know? It was clickbait, so I rose to the bait, obviously. I just sent back, let her host, just don't let her drive. Another website that was in the room, Entertainment Weekly, they tweeted a different headline, and they atted me in as well. And their headline was, Caitlyn finally breaks silence over Ricky Gervais. I just sent back, at last. She always breaks too late. Bring it on. Bring it on. But I'm a considered comedian. I like my jokes to be accurate and my targets to be fair. So I was engaging these people. I was saying, why is it transphobic? And they were saying, it's about a trans person. I said, well, that's ridiculous. That's like saying a joke about Bill Cosby is automatically racist. It depends on the joke. But I was talking to them, I'm willing to learn, and I found out my crime was that I dead-named her. Now, I'd never heard that term, you know, before a day after the Golden Globes, and that was saying her old name, and even acknowledging that she used to be a man. But she did. I saw him on the Olympic Games. It was decathlon, it was in everything. He was all over the place. Shot put and pole vault. He won a medal. He was famous. He was on telly all the time. But, you know, a big, famous man with a huge, I don't know, but I mean, I'm guessing he probably beats a big, but I've learnt my lesson. Now, I'd never dead name her now. Now I know it's wrong. I'd never dead name her now. But, like, years ago, when, you know, she was a man. That was years ago, I'm saying, right? And she went to the doctor, right? And knocked on the door, and the doctor went, come in. This is years ago. I'm saying, I'd never dead name her now, but this is like a flashback before anyone... Do you know what So, like, come in. And he went, hello, Bruce Jenner, because that was his name then. The doctor, you know, this was years ago, and the doctor went, oh, I'm Bruce Jenner, you big old... How you doing, boy, you fucker? How you doing? You big old blunt. Oh, how you doing, boy? Come here, you fucker. How you doing, Brucey boy? You all right? Right? And Bruce Jenner, because that was his name, this is years ago, right? So Bruce Jenner went, yeah, not too bad, doctor, yeah. Not too bad, right? And I was like, what can I do for you, Bruce? You fucker. How you doing, boy? And Bruce Jenner went, because that was his name, Bruce Jenner went, look at that. And they went, oh, come on, Bruce Jenner, you know the rules. He uses his whole name every time for some reason, I don't know why. Come on, Bruce Jenner, you fucker, you know the rules. You can't bring your big old pole vaulting pole in here, mate, you know. And Bruce Jenner went, no, that's not my pole vaulting pot, that's my enormous penis. And I thought, oh, right, yeah, seeing as it is your penis, you can bring it in here. But you should have left your shot puts outside. And Bruce Jenner went, that was his name for 58 years, I think. He went, no, they're not my shot puts, they're my enormous testicles. That's where I keep my testosterone and my spunk and shit, right? And the doctor went, oh, yeah, that makes perfect. I am a medical man, and that you're a big bloke. Oh, you fucker. How you doing, boy? You're a big... You're big, and you would have a big old cock and balls. They're beautiful. They're a bit familiar, isn't it? And I go, no, but you must be very proud of them, Bruce. Bruce Jenner went, oh, this is going to surprise you, doctor. I want to get rid of them. And the doctor went, what? Why? Ah, they get in the way. Get in the way of what? Fucking driving, for one thing. So I'm engaging these people, and I'm saying, but I had to say her old name because that gets me into the joke. I say, I've changed, not as much as Bruce Jenner, and then I do the actual joke. I went, no. This is my second crime. I say, she hasn't changed, right? She's always been a woman because she's always identified as a woman, and that means she's a woman. Fine, if that's the rules, you are what you feel. If you feel you're a woman, that makes you a woman. Cool. You know, I'm not one of these bigots that think having all that done is science going too far. You know? In fact, I don't think it's going far enough. Because I've always identified as a chimp, right? Well, I am a chimp. If I say I'm a chimp, I am a chimp, you know. Pre-op, but... And don't ever dead name me. Don't ever call me Ricky Gervais again. From now on, you call me Bobo. So I'm going to have species realignment. I'm halfway there, to be honest. I'm sort of short with short legs and long arms. I sort of stoop like that. My back's getting hairier by the day. I've got fangs. I love nuts. Oh, I love nuts. And once I was at the zoo and I could tell people were looking at me, so I just started masturbating. So I am a chimp. Right? I am a chimp, if I say I'm a chimp. And so I've got to live as a chimp for a year, then have hormones, get me all nice and hairy. That'd be lovely, right? I'm going to stay a male chimp, so I can keep all that, right? A male, heterosexual chimp, keep the same girlfriend. Jane will be happy. She loves me. She loves chimps, so, you know. And I reckon that's got to be easier for a man to turn into a chimp. We're so close. Than for a man to turn into a woman in many ways. You know what I mean? A bit of hair and a top lip like that, as opposed to your cock and balls ripped off and a hole gouged out into... No, I'm not a doctor, but that is the gist of it. I know which one I'd rather have done. And I'm not saying I think chimps are better than women. No way. Right? Any ladies here, right? I can't see you, but to me, every single one of you is equal to a chimp. So I'm gonna have all that done. So hair with that, right? I'll do all that. I'll do all the. I'll retain the ability to speak English, like in emergencies. If I'm talking to Jane, I'm going, she's going, what is it, Bobo? What is it, Bobo? You left the fucking oven on. There's a fire. What, are you telling me that if Caitlyn Jenner was being chased by a wolf, right? And there was a big fence, but she had a long pole, she'd revert. She'd be over that fucking easy. So, all that done, all that, all that, doing all that, right? I'll be legally a chimp. I'll be properly chimped up, right? I'll be able to use chimp toilets and everything, right? And then I'll be walking along Hampstead High Street, holding Jane's hand. Come on, Bobo. Like that, right? We don't even hold hands now, so I don't know why she's suddenly all over me just because I'm a chimp, right? But we'll be all in love, maybe matching jumpers. So, walking along, come on, Bobo, in love, just two guys, And then, if a bigot in a white van slows down and goes, that's fucking disgusting, I just fling shit him and run up a tree. And that's why that joke isn't transphobic, so... Cheers. I should do topical stuff, but I never watch the news. I did see one thing recently on YouTube, actually. Do you know the little fella from Game of Thrones? The actor, Peter Dinklage. Do you know Peter Dinklage? Yeah. He was at a junket, and it was for a new thing he was doing, right? And they were filming it. That's why it got leaked onto YouTube. And I don't know what brought it up, but he suddenly started going off on one. Someone, oh, God. He was going, it's fucking disgusting. They're still doing productions of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. For Christ's sake, it's fucking demeaning. It's 2023. He wasn't happy. He was grumpy, wasn't he? He's got a point now, hasn't he? Obviously he's got a point. But the thing is, it's all right for him because he's a multi-millionaire Hollywood actor, and he's a great actor as well. He does Shakespeare and everything. A lot of dwarves in entertainment aren't that great. No, some of them are fucking... They're props, right? No, let's be... They're lucky to be fired from a fucking cannon, right? And so... dancing around Snow White for 3 weeks of the year, that is their, like, holy grail, and he's going to fuck it for them. If he takes that, what can they do? And he's not saying you should do Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs with normal-size actors. You can't do that either. You get in trouble for that in Hollywood, or you can't take a dwarf's job or a disabled person's job. Like, Eddie Redmayne got in trouble when he played Stephen Hawking in the biopic, The Life Story of Stephen Hawking, right? Won an Oscar for it, and that's when the backlash started. People going, no, it should be played by a real disabled creature, all this... right? And they're going, the actor should have the same disability as the person they're portraying. But it was the life story of Stephen Hawking, right? So for the first part of the film, the cunt could walk, right? So I put it to you, what is easier? Getting an actor who can walk, pretend he can't, for the last bit of the film, or get an actor who can't walk, pretend he can for the first bit. How would that even fucking work? Puppetry, think. You can't always find an actor with the same disability as the person they're portraying. They're fucking actors. What if they did a biopic of Helen Keller, the deaf, dumb and blind girl? Well, what's the chances of finding a deaf, dumb and blind actress who can play that role? And if you did, you go right into the director and go, we found a deaf, dumb and blind girl. What did she say? She didn't even answer the fucking phone. No, I've been doing a lot of video messages recently for terminally ill children, and only if they request it, obviously. I don't burst into hospitals and go, wake up, Baldy. Look, me twerking on TikTok. Look. No, I did a lot through the pandemic, presumably because they couldn't even see their own family. And it's through Make-A-Wish Foundation. Do you know the charity Make-A-Wish Foundation? They're great, and they give these dying kids their, like, one wish. And if it's me, I always say yes. And I always start the video the same way. I go, why didn't you wish to get better? What, you fucking retarded as well? I don't do that either, okay? These are all jokes, all right? I don't even use that word in real life, the R word. You just used it, Rick. Yeah, in a joke. That's not real life, is it? I'm playing a role. You sounded pretty convincing. Yeah, because I'm good. You wouldn't level that accusation at other art forms. You wouldn't go up to Sir Anthony Hopkins and go, oh, I saw you in Silence the Lambs. You a cannibal, are you? No, I was playing a role. Oh, seemed pretty convincing. Yeah. He's good, and I'm good, and that's why I do things well. Imagine if I came at her and did things not very well, so you knew I was joking. That'd be fucking retarded. Has anyone ever bothered asking the dolphins if they mind swimming with dying kids? You know what I mean? Because that can't be fun for that. Somebody, they're like flipping around, and suddenly dumps a truckload of pale teenagers flaying. And the dolphin's like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck's this? Oh, fucking hell. Oh, let them do it. Oh, fuck, what they're all dying. Of what? That one just stuck his fingers in my fucking blowhole. He's not going to be around for long, nor am I if I can't fucking breathe. It's very sad. But we all die. We all know we're going to die. And we all do die, so it doesn't really matter if we die one at a time along the way, or all at once in one big final Armageddon. The result is we're all going to be dead one day, and we're all going to be dead forever. And I've been to a lot of funerals in my time. You live this long, you know a lot of people, they die, right? And I don't mind funerals, because it's the end. You know what I mean? I hate weddings. Oh, fucking... There's so much hope. You know what I mean? And they're needy and arrogant. It's out. They go, oh, we're getting... Do you want to come and watch us for 12 hours? No, fuck no. Even the invite is arrogant, isn't it? It's like a royal decree. You are cordially invited. It's not a fucking honour. I don't want to go to your shitty wedding. Do you know what I mean? And then you go, oh, right, yeah, when is it? And they go, 2 years' time. They know you haven't got an excuse for 2 years' time. So you just have to hope that one of them dies. You know what I mean? And so you go, oh yeah, I'll be there, yeah, where is it? And they go, India. Oh, fuck off. I'm not having injections for you, you boring bastards. And I've got a big family now, a big extended family, and there's always one of them getting married, and they know I've got a bit of cash, so I can't give them a tea set anymore. I've got to get them their first fucking house. You know what I mean? I've got a big family because I had older brothers and sisters, and they all had loads of kids, and their kids have had loads of kids, and their kids have had loads of kids, because we're chavs, basically. There's a new baby every Christmas. It's one of those families. You know what I mean? I go home, it's crowded. I go, oh, who's is that? Oh, yours is it? Oh, well done. I don't know him, I don't know her. You know what I mean? It's like... But what I've done over the last couple of years, I've got them each individually, right, in private, and I've told them that I'm leaving my entire fortune to just them, right? But to keep it secret. So they all love me, right? And I'm not doing a will, so my funeral is going to be a fucking bloodbath. I'm at that age now where people ask me what I've got planned for my funeral. Even journalists say, oh, what's your funeral? I go, I don't know, I haven't planned it. They go, no, it's fucking depressing. Also, I don't care. I'll be dead. They go, don't care about what people think of you. No, I'll be dead. They go, what about your legacy? Fuck my legacy. You can't plan your legacy. I think of all these people who died thinking they'd be loved forever. Eminent people going, there is a statue of me in the town square. And now they're pulling down the statues, aren't they? Going, pull down this fucking statue. Why? He was a slave trader. Pull down the fucking statue. He built the hospital. Should we pull that down? No, leave the hospital. Leave the hospital. Just pull down the fucking statue. Pull down the statue and dump it in the canal. He built the canal as well. It doesn't matter, just pull down the fucking statue. I don't think you should whitewash history. If you find out something new, add to it. Like if there's a statue and it's got Lord Whimsy, trader, philanthropist, add bit racist. Or one of those blue plaques on a house of Sir Robert Spuke lived here. Author, poet, pedo. I think we live too long. That's why we have time to worry about all this. We're not meant to live this long. As a species, we're about 300,000 years old as Homo sapiens. We've been around as hominids for a few million years. And of course, along with every other life form that exists at the moment, we've been evolving for 3.5 billion years. Everything that exists at the moment all came from the same little blob of organic matter 3.5 billion years ago. That's why it annoys me when people say, oh yeah, humans, we're the most evolved. We're not the most evolved. We're no more evolved than the slug or the snail. People go, oh, come on, look at them. Yeah, they got it right early doors. Nature keeps testing them. Do you want eyes? No. Not really. No. I have noticed one thing about the slug and the snail. Let's not split hairs, let's be honest. The snail is basically a slug with a shell on it, isn't it, right? But if you pull the shell off the snail, it starts giving it all, oh, I'm dying. And the slug is like, welcome to the real world, cunt. So yeah, we've been around for about 300,000 years. And for most of that time, we had the same life expectancy as every other wild ape, 35, 40, if you're lucky. You're born, you grow, you mate, you're playing with your kids, you get a cut, you go, oh, what's that, dead? Right? But now with antibiotics and medicine, we've pushed that forward. A child born today can expect to live to about 100. And scientists said soon that'll be 120. And science also said that in the near future, there's no reason with proper care and attention that human beings won't regularly live to 150 years old, which is amazing until you remember that we get a set number of brain cells, right? Which we only lose. You can't get them back. So in the future, there's going to be 15 billion people on the planet, you know. Half of them are going to be over 100, and they're all going to have Alzheimer's. It's going to be like Dawn of the Dead. It's going to be fucking horrible. My auntie died of Alzheimer's. I don't know how you die of Alzheimer's. She forgot to live. Right? And for the last couple of years, she was in her home, and my cousin, her only kid, used to visit her like once a week, and it got more and more depressing because soon she didn't recognise him, and then she didn't know who she was, or you know, and then she died. And at the funeral, we were sort of reminiscing about the good days, some of the funny, absent-minded things she said and did, and we realised, oh, probably that was the beginning of the disease before it was diagnosed. And this is a true story. Once, my cousin went home from work, and he went in, and she went, "Your tea's in the oven. I've had mine already." He went, "Oh, cheers, Mum." And it was like a fish pie, right? He ate the fish pie, and he went, "Oh, God." And he ran upstairs, vomited, went back down and went, "Mum, the fish is off. I've just been really sick." And she said, "Yeah, it made me really sick." I've been looking into infant mortality rates recently. For research, it's not a fucking fetish. Like, a child born today in the UK has a percentage chance of survival of 99.8%, which is incredible. I thought, is that just the mollycoddled West? And I was putting in third world countries. And even in Africa, it's like 96.5%. In the wilds of Africa, where everything wants to fucking eat a newborn baby, babies are vulnerable enough, aren't they? In Africa, a baby can be born in a mud hut. There's a lion outside. It's covered in blood because they can't wash it. They've got no water. Oh, and it's already got AIDS. Now, by the time that joke goes on Netflix, it'll be nuanced. There'll be an underlying satirical point, I'll claim. But until then, all I've got is, baby's got AIDS. I know that it's funny. I just have to work out why. Leave it with me. Leave it with me. Also, by the time that goes on Netflix, I'd have been playing arenas around the world. It'll be hitting hard, people will be laughing. So if you are an African woman and you just had a baby in Africa, and the doctor goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, your baby's got AIDS." You go, "Oh my God, you're there. You know, our little baby's got, you're there with your husband," and you go, "Oh, our baby's got AIDS, Jeff." Jeff. "I know, Tracy, I'm gutted too, darling." "Our baby's got AIDS." "Oh, should we watch some comedy to cheer us up?" "Yeah." "What, Netflix?" "Yeah." "What, Ricky Gervais?" "Duh." Yeah. And they're sad that their baby's got AIDS, but they're sort of laughing along. "Oh, Armageddon, huh?" And it gets to that bit, "Baby's got AIDS." And she goes, "Oh my God, Jeff, why are they all laughing at us and our baby with AIDS?" And Jeff goes, "Well, they're not laughing at us per se." She goes, "Well, they are. They've named us and everything. They're literally laughing at us in this bit." And Jeff goes, "Yeah, but we're a fictional couple with a fictional baby with AIDS. Anyone offended by that is a fucking moron." And then he goes, "And at least he didn't do the accent." So... And then she goes, "Yeah, but only because Jane begged him not to." It's funny because it's true. Website, it's a real website. It's called doesthedogdie.com, right? And it was set up because people would watch a film or a program with a dog in it, and something would happen to the dog, and they'd turn it off. It would ruin it for them. It would ruin their day, right? So this website was set up. You could go to it, you could put in any film or TV show and ask, does a dog die? And someone would answer you, no, or whatever. And it's become a thing for anyone's phobias. Anything you don't want to see in a film, you just look up the film and they answer your question, right? So I looked up one film on here, Schindler's List. Absolutely real. Schindler's List, doesthedogdie.com. Right. First question, does a dog die? No. Does a cat die? No. Are any animals abused? Someone answers, there is a chicken that's handled roughly, but otherwise unharmed. Now, I love animals more than anyone I know, but if I was Jewish, I'd be slightly offended by this avenue of questioning. Imagine that in real life. Imagine someone says, oh, yeah, my grandparents were murdered by the Nazis. You go, oh, what happened? Oh, they were dragged from their house and sent to the gas chamber. Oh, was a chicken hurt? What? But as I say, it's become, you can ask any question about anything. Someone says, is there child abuse? Is teeth damaged? Is there a hanging? Does someone struggle to breathe? Yeah. Well, yeah, yes. Someone says, does someone fall downstairs? Who's scared of slapstick? It's like... Anyway, so this website was founded in 2010, so it's run about 13 years, right? And the later questions start reflecting the times we live in now, and they get more and more fragile and narcissistic. These questions were asked this year. Check it out. Schindler's List, right? Someone says, are there any fat jokes? Would that make this worse? Well, imagine the real thing. Imagine I'm in a concentration camp, right? I'm naked, everyone around me is naked. We've got a commandant herding us towards a gas chamber, and he goes, move it, fatty, right? And I go, rude. No, that has ruined the whole experience, if I'm honest. Someone asks, is there hate speech? Yeah, there is. Suck it up, Buttercup. Are there any man in a dress jokes? Very few jokes. If you come to this film for a giggle, you're going to be very disappointed. But this one takes the biscuit for me. Remember, this is a movie set in the 1940s about arguably the worst atrocity in civilised human history. Check this out. Is someone misgendered? Fucking hell. This is quite sweet. Is there any anti-Semitism? Yeah. This is pretty much the mother load, right? Forget Kanye. This is off the fucking charts. Don't do that when you're talking about this. Fuck's sake. I was doing the graph. I was doing like that. This is off the charts. That's... Wouldn't things have been different if that was Hitler's salute? The whole thing would have been... He goes like, it's Hitler. Like, oh yeah. This is interesting. Does it have a sad ending? Right? Someone says yes, and then someone else says no. And I thought about it. No, but then I remembered, if you've seen the film, if you remember, when the story sort of ends, Spielberg then tacks on a real bit of footage where he gets real life descendants of people murdered in the Holocaust, and he films them coming into a Jewish cemetery, and they each leave a stone on the grave to represent their family members that were murdered, and it builds up, and it's very moving. And so I think I get the ambiguity. Does it have a sad ending? Yes, in the sense that 6 million Jews pointlessly lost their life, but no, in the sense that there was still enough left over to build a little rockery. So... I asked one question myself on this. Is James Corden in it? I did look at one other film briefly, Titanic, right? And it's got all the same sort of questions. And the one where it goes, are any animals harmed? Someone answers, there were no explicit scenes of animals being harmed, but Rose did have a goldfish, which probably didn't make it. I think of the goldfish in the bowl on the sideboard when the boat hits the iceberg, and he's all like that, right? And people are running around going, we're going in the water. And he's all smug then, and he's going, don't worry about it. Oh, no, not water. Oh, then he gets in the sea and he goes, it's very salty, isn't it? It's very salty. I'll leave you with a true story. It's still on the theme of Does the Dog Die? When I was 7 years old, my mum took me to the cinema to see a film called Old Yeller. Beautiful film, yeah, made in the late 50s and sort of set in the Wild West on this homestead. And it's about a kid who adopts this little junkyard dog, and he calls him Old Yeller, and they grow up together. And it's a buddy movie. It's a love story between this kid and his dog. And eventually, when the dog's big and, you know, he protects this kid in the wild, he fights a cougar and a bear and a wolf or whatever. But towards the end of the film, the kid's about 13, maybe. It takes a dark turn. I remember the kid sort of looking at Old Yeller, who's locked in the barn, and the mother's suspicious, right? And she goes, is it Old Yeller all right? He went, yeah, he's fine. But the kid knows that he's been bitten, right? And soon, Old Yeller starts foaming at the mouth and, getting aggressive. And the mother turns up with a gun, and the kid goes, no. And she goes, you know we've got to do it, boy. He goes, yeah, but he's my dog. I'll do it. And he shoots his own dog. And I was like in floods for like a year, right? Anyway, fast forward, right, a few years ago, I was on tour, I was on a train, and I get a text from Jane, and she says, I'm finally watching Old Yeller. And I sent back, enjoy, right? I didn't think, right? 20 minutes later, I get a text, nothing happens to that dog, does it? I couldn't believe my fucking luck. I thought she knew, So I sent back, no, of course not. 1 hour later, I get a text, you cunt. Thank you very much. Cheers. Thanks to everyone who bought a ticket. If you bought a platinum ticket, the money goes to an animal charity, and you've raised $2 million so far, so thank you so much. I even get a bit of stick about that on social media. There's always someone who goes, why do you only speak up for animals? And I go, well, because they haven't got a voice of their own except parrots. And I think that's why we don't eat parrots. Everyone around the world eats every other type of bird, don't they? Everyone in the world eats fucking chickens and ducks and geese and turkeys and ostriches. No one eats parrots. Do you know why? If you go and try and eat a parrot, it goes, fuck off, you cunt. So speaking up really does work, right? And that has sort of been one of the themes of the show, because I know in the real world, in normal jobs, everyday life, you get in trouble. People tell you off for saying certain things or thinking certain things or even laughing at certain things, right? They say you're bad for laughing at that. And some of you take it to heart. You go, oh my God, am I a bad person? No, you're not. One, you can't choose your sense of humour. You can't, it's involuntary. And two, that's exactly what humour is for, to laugh at bad shit, to get us through it, right? And... And we've established you can't even choose your own thoughts. How often have you been on a train station and you've suddenly thought, what if I just pushed that bloke? And then you go, why have I thought that? Am I a psychopath? No, you're not. You're the opposite. You're a safe pair of hands. You're testing yourself. You're reminding yourself how terrible that would be. You're a good person, right? I don't get that one. What I get is I'm talking to a really sweet old lady and I suddenly start thinking, what if I just spat in her face now? Why would I? Another theme of the show has been words change and I'm woke, haha. But here's the irony. I think I am woke, but I think that word has changed. I think if woke still means what it used to mean, that you're aware of your own privilege, you try and maximise equality, minimise oppression, be anti-racist, anti-sexist, anti-homophobic. Yes, I'm definitely woke. If woke now means being a puritanical, authoritarian bully who gets people fired for an honest opinion or even a fact, then no, I'm not woke. Fuck that. But here's the deal. To each their own, laugh at whatever you find funny. All laughter's good, and you're amazing. Good night. So this show is called Armageddon, and it's all about how I think humanity might end, because there's a long list of possibilities, you know. We're on a precipice, you know. It could be anything from global warming, the rise of the pandemic, you know, nuclear war, our own stupidity. Basically, because we are getting more stupid as a species, no doubt about that. You can now do a university degree course in Taylor Swift. How fucking low academically can you go? There's an institute in London called the School of Flower Arranging. I went past it, I couldn't believe it. School of Flower Arranging. I looked in, and there's people having lectures. Flower arranging. My mum used to pick flowers every day from the garden, cut flowers, put them in vases around the house. At no point did anyone come round and go, what unqualified cunt did these? Yeah, the earth is in a terrible mess, and it's my fault, my generation's fault, and the generation before, the boomers, with their deforestation and their fossil fuels, ruining the ozone layer, raising the temperature by a few degrees, so parasites, you know, bacteria, and these zootropic pandemics are just going to get worse and worse. Like, if you're 20 years old now, you're going to have a very different middle age to me. I've had the best 60 years of civilization, right? But if you're 20 now, in 40 years' time, you're going to be in your house, wearing a mask, crying. Like you do now over jokes. And I'm not going to be around to see that, but I am going to spend my entire fortune from now on private jets to make sure it definitely fucking happens. We're going to be the first generation that future generations are jealous of, right? Because we had it all, and we're using it all up. We're using up all the fresh water. We're using up all the fossil fuel, right? Usually you look back in history and you feel sorry for it. You go, oh, how did they live like that? Oh, how did they get around? No indoor toilets. I've got 9 toilets in my house. And sometimes I just run around flushing them for a laugh. Just so that in 40 years' time, Greta Thunberg has to shit out of a window. I've got 28 radiators. I always have them on full. Then I put the aircon on full, and it sort of settles at about 20 degrees. Lovely. It's how the cat likes it. She loves it at 20 degrees, and I spoil my cat. I love cats. I love having a cat. Think about cats are great, but if you let them out, they bring home the most disgusting things. Last week, mine brought home a scouser with herpes. And it wasn't quite dead, so I had to get it by its legs and crack its head against the table. I think we live too long. That's why we have time to worry about all this. We're not meant to live this long. As a species, we're about 300,000 years old as Homo sapiens. We've been around as hominids for a few million years. And of course, along with every other life form that exists at the moment, we've been evolving for 3.5 billion years. Everything that exists at the moment all came from the same little blob of organic matter 3.5 billion years ago. That's why it annoys me when people say, oh yeah, humans, we're the most evolved. We're not the most evolved. We're no more evolved than the slug or the snail. People go, oh, come on, look at them. Yeah, they got it right early doors. Nature keeps testing them. Do you want eyes? No. Not really. No. I have noticed one thing about the slug and the snail. Let's not split hairs, let's be honest. The snail is basically a slug with a shell on it, isn't it, right? But if you pull the shell off the snail, it starts giving it all, oh, I'm dying. And the slug is like, welcome to the real world, cunt. So yeah, we've been around for about 300,000 years, and for most of that time, we had the same life expectancy as every other wild ape, 35, 40, if you're lucky. You're born, you grow, you mate, you're playing with your kids, you get a cut, you go, oh, what's that, dead? Right? But now with antibiotics and medicine, we've pushed that forward. A child born today can expect to live to about 100. And scientists said soon that'll be 120. And science also said that in the near future, there's no reason with proper care and attention that human beings won't regularly live to 150 years old, which is amazing until you remember that we get a set number of brain cells, right? Which we only lose. You can't get them back. So in the future, there's going to be 15 billion people on the planet, you know. Half of them are going to be over 100, and they're all going to have Alzheimer's. It's going to be like Dawn of the Dead. It's going to be fucking horrible. My auntie died of Alzheimer's. I don't know how you die of Alzheimer's. She forgot to live. Right? And for the last couple of years, she was in her home, and my cousin, her only kid, used to visit her like once a week, and it got more and more depressing because soon she didn't recognise him, and then she didn't know who she was, or you know, and then she died. And at the funeral, we were sort of reminiscing about the good days, some of the funny, absent-minded things she said and did, and we realised, oh, probably that was the beginning of the disease before it was diagnosed. And this is a true story. Once, my cousin went home from work, and he went in, and she went, "Your tea's in the oven. I've had mine already." He went, "Oh, cheers, Mum." And it was like a fish pie, right? He ate the fish pie. Then he went, "Oh, God." He ran upstairs, vomited, went back down and went, "Mum, the fish is off. I've just been really sick." And she said, "Yeah, it made me really sick." Some people don't think we evolved in the first place. Some people think that God made us all at once in one fell swoop and by himself. I think if he'd had a wife or a mate, there'd have been questions when he was working, wouldn't they? If he'd like, "What are you doing?" Creating man. Oh, what's it got? What do you mean, what's it got? Has it got like claws and fangs and shit? No, not really, no. Oh, has it got poison? No, no poison. Oh, has it got armour, like spikes and shit? No, no armour. How will it survive? It's got the best brain in the animal kingdom. It'll work stuff out. It'll create weaponry to take down beasts 100 times mightier than itself. It'll wear their carcass through the Ice Age. It'll go through famine. It'll go through world wars. It'll eventually start getting scared of words. For 10,000 generations, it'll be top dog. Oh. What are they? His testicles. Oh. What are they for? He keeps everything in there. His seed, his DNA. What's DNA? It's like a blueprint for life. It determines what you're like, what sex you are. How many sexes are there? 2. Also, that's where he keeps his testosterone, so he's fucking well hard, right? And if you take a finger and flick a testicle, he's fucked. He's absolutely fucked. He's thrown up, he's on the floor, he's out of the game, absolutely kippered. Why are you putting it on the outside? For a laugh, just for a laugh. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Rick, relax. We've already had our money's worth just seeing you. What? You're a legend. Shut up. Why is he... I'm not a god. Why is that? I'm just an ordinary guy, you know, going around talking to people. Sort of like Jesus. In a way, but better. Well, I've actually turned up, so... Thank you, and welcome to my new show, Humanity. Space travel, the last-ditch attempt. When we fuck this planet completely, can we leave its dying husk and move to a new one and start again? I don't think so. Not in my lifetime. Probably not in yours. You know, it's like the closest one, the only one viable, is Mars, and that's 9 months away on a rocket. Right? It's got no atmosphere, an average temperature of minus 70 degrees. How's this for irony? Scientists are working out whether they can detonate nuclear warheads in the crust to release the frozen water to cause an atmosphere and get a little bit of global warming going. I mean, I don't know. It's only billionaires have got enough money to waste on exploration. There's nothing out there, you know. It's like, now you can do space tourism. Have you heard of that? You can pay $150,000. They shoot you into space for an hour, and you float around going, I'm in space. I mean, we're already in space. Earth is right in the fucking middle of space, right? It's the best bit of space there is. It's got car parks and cinemas. It's like there's nothing else to see. It's like living in London and going, I wonder what Coventry's like. You don't...